Well, hello there.
Was that your introduction?
I figured I'd try something new. Welcome, everyone, to another Literalist reaction video. I'm Dave. With me, as always, my good buddy, music lover, John Doe. What do we got today, John?
Confusion, Dave. Mostly confusion, but
Excellent.
yeah. It's time to go visit my band again. Time for a little bit of yes.
Okay. I'm always
We're gonna
down.
do. Yeah, they're good stuff, man. I'm telling you. We're gonna do something from their 1971 album, The Yes Album.
What an imaginative name.
It is very imaginative. The song was written by Anderson and Squire. It has appeared on several later albums, from live albums to greatest hits compilations, that kind of thing. This was Steve Howe's first album with Yes, following their firing of their prior guitarist Peter Banks. The album would also be followed by the firing of Tony Kaye. So this is Tony Kaye's last album with the band until he rejoined them in '83 for the hit stuff. And
So he really screwed this album up, and they were like, "We're done with it."
No, he did fine work, but as I've said before, he pretty much stuck to his Hammond organ and didn't vary. And the band was just looking for some more variety. And here along comes Rick Wakeman after this album is done, and they go, "Well,"
And they said, "Capes, I'm in."
So this is a typical progressive rock song in that the track consists of multiple distinct movements which form one cohesive longer work. When it was first released, it was released as a single with just the first part, the first 3-minute part, without the second part, the 4-minute part. So, but shortly after that became a hit, Al Moriarty Radio said, "Well, we shouldn't just play the single version. We need to play the full album version," which is what you're going to be hearing right here, studio version.
All right, cool.
Oh, the song is "I've Seen All Good People," followed by "Your Move."
All right, let's check it out. Here's "I've Seen All Good People."
I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way.
Sadly, no lyrics, Dave. I'm sorry.
I've seen
How
all
dare
good
you.
people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way. Take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the white queen run so fast, she hasn't got time to make you wife.
right about there is where the single faded out on the original version.
Oh, really? So it was over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it was the single version, the original radio release that was started to fade right there.
Oh man, we're not even halfway in. All right, we'll talk about it so far.
Well, let's address the screw up that I did because the Yes fans are right now freaking out.
Go on.
Okay? I put it in the wrong order when I stated it. It's not I've seen all good people, your move. It's your move, I've seen all good people. So the your move section is what you just heard, and that's the first part of the song and the part that made the hit.
I love the context of clearly whoever wrote this was like sitting there playing chess and then decided to write a song.
Okay, all right. There's definitely chess involved.
Well, for clearly you're moving on to different spaces. There's the queen. You're capturing pieces. So I mean, definitely the imagery is chess, but I like the tact that he took with it. Like, we move back to spaces you've already been to. Like, go back and explore portions of life. It's okay. And also, and I don't know if he intended this, but one of the things I always appreciate about chess was the less violence. Pieces are not killed; they are captured. Like it's not supposed to be an overly violent game. I always appreciated that about even the imagery of that, and I think it makes a lot of sense in the context of a song like this. Like, go out and capture pieces, but at the end of the day, like, it's your move. We're just having a fun time here. We're just enjoying our life, and the queen will use this later. Like, it's not even gone. It's not wasted. It's not killed. The queen can use this later. I thought that's just a very interesting piece there. Sound-wise, it started a little Renaissance fair to me. And it's staying in what sounds like a little bit of the folk genre. As always, love a good shaker. I like that it had that shaker in the background. But musically, yeah, it's very just chill, I think is the word I'm going to choose here. It's chill.
Sublime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's relaxing and enjoyable. So,
well, one of the things they loved about Steve Howe was he would bring exotic guitars in, and I believe he's using a Portuguese guitar for that intro part, which looks like a mandolin sort of type thing.
That's what I assumed it was from the sound of it. Well, thoroughly enjoyable. I look forward to the rest of it. All right.
Now we're grooving.
It sounds like we moved to the like slight blues almost. It's like got a little bit of a country twang.
It's funny you should say that because if I'm not mistaken, when you said it, it just sparked a memory. They did a little known recording live at the House of Blues where they did kind of a bluesy rendition of one of their songs, and it may have been this one.
I mean, I would say you don't have to bluesify it up too much to have it be a little more bluesy. This has definitely got undertones of that styling.
Right.
I'm taking it.
You know, it's funny. Sometimes when you hear a band's, bigger hits over and over, you can get a little tired of them. I never tire of hearing that song. Never.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta say, it was a very fun song for sure. As always, I love when there's different stylings in there, and that did a great job of having a couple different styles in there. Um, I It definitely did have movements like we talked about in a lot of these older songs. That is a lot of fun. Different instruments coming in and out. Ways that just things audioly. You know what? I stand by it.
Audioly.
Things audioly that like just surprise you, that come out of nowhere and make you turn and go, what is going on? Like I'm a good person who's turning my head and saying, what is going on?
So lyrically, what is your definition of well, you kind of gave us your view on the first part, your move.
I and this is probably because I'm a cynic. I personally took this as a bit of a look at all the good people just turning their heads. They're satisfied. They're on their way. They're not doing anything to help anyone. They're just sort of like, no, they're it's not that they're bad people, but they're just satisfied and they're on their way to do whatever they're doing and passing everything else by. I think it could be taken as both passing by and not helping other people, as well as they are sort of passing by life. Like they're plodding along. They're good people. They go to work. They take care of their family. But a lot of it is just going through the motions of life and not really lifting your head up and taking pause to look around and maybe go back to a space you've been before, like the previous verse or the previous movement of this song was talking about. Go back to a space you've been before, look around and enjoy it again. So anyway, that would be my take on it. Not a lot of lyrics because it's very repetitive.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I managed to pick up the lyrics there. So yay me, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and with all John Anderson or Yes lyrics, they're mostly up for grabs for the most part, because they focus on words that sound good with the music rather than, definitely cohesively putting together a definite thought. However, I have heard some people who agree that the chess metaphor seems to be a tool for navigating interpersonal relationships.
Okay.
So there's that.
But there's
then,
give and take.
Yeah, there's give and take, and there's movement around life, I guess, like you said. I think that the concept meshes well with what you were saying. Basically, how to navigate life in general, relationships included.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
But then it goes into the all we are saying is give peace a chance, which that chant gets into the I've seen all good people turn their heads each day. To me, that's I've heard that is another kind of a protest song about the people who are who were spitting on our Vietnam vets and things like that when they got off of airplanes and things like that, and how that they're kind of hypocrites. You know, they turn their heads away from these men serving the military, and they're satisfied, and then John sings "I'm on my way," which to me sounds like you're a hypocrite. I'm out.
Ah, okay. I could see that too. Yeah, that definitely takes a lot of contextualizing of the song itself into a specific time period, which
Right.
is also an interesting topic because songs are not written in a vacuum. Like this songwriter has looked around their current world and felt emotions about things going on, and then often writes a song. So sometimes lyrics can't necessarily be taken at face value, I think, without the context of the world in which the writer lived, which fascinating. Like that's just another level to learn and experience when it comes to all this older music. So that's awesome.
Yeah. The harmonies are brilliant in it. The guitar, Steve House's guitar solo, I never get tired of that guitar solo. He's just amazing, creative, or never heard anything like it, and never since.
I gotta say,
So,
musically super fun, fantastic different movements, and then on top of that we have lyrically fascinating, interesting. Yes, is always really become a real joy to listen to. I gotta say, I'm super digging it. I've started looking into a little more history too lately. You know, we've been doing so many songs from the really, I guess, like mid 60s into the 80s is the general time period. And of course, I like history. I know a decent amount of the history, but like a lot of history is very it's smaller to the point that you don't know it unless you lived through it. And it's because it's not a lot of events weren't large enough to stay in the public zeitgeist to the level where someone born in the mid 80s would then have been taught those things. So it's been interesting to go back and just start to read about more of the minutia of the history of the mid 60s to the 80s time period, and try to contextualize a little more a lot of the music that was written during that time. So it's interesting because like I purposely now don't listen to music from that time period because you're introducing me to so much. I don't want to ruin it. But that doesn't mean I can't read history about that time period.
that is very true. You could even read a book about music in history.
I don't know
Music
if I'm
as it
willing
relates
to
to
go
his.
that far.
No? Okay. All right, fair enough. So is this a playlist entry or is this a no playlist entry?
I gotta say, when it comes to my playlist, going right on there.
There you go.
Yeah,
Bing
buddy.
bang.
I certainly enjoyed it very much and would listen again. And I would listen to both of those movements. So I guess technically, if I pulled it off of a regular site, I'd have to grab two songs, wouldn't I? I
Gosh,
don't know if they come packaged.
I don't even know for sure because when I listen to Yes, it's the whole album through, beginning to end, usually. So that's the way I hear it.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
So there you go. Being the Yes freak I am, I think I have Yes well under control, but I am still looking at your requests. If you want to hear a particular Yes song, as some of you do, I'm watching those. And when I get more than one person request the same song, and I look at it, and we determine what we're going to choose to play. So, my friends, leave a comment. Tell me what you'd like to hear from Yes and what you'd like Dave to hear from Yes. And remember, we're not jumping into Tales from Topographic Oceans yet. Let's give the guy a break, huh? Okay?
That was meaningless to me. I have no
And it
idea
should
what you
be.
just
It
said.
should be at this point completely meaningless to you. All right, Dave, I'll catch you on the flip side.